If you want to get confident with money because you're either not good with money, or you're not interested in dealing with money, or you just find it's just too hard, whatever, then it's time for you to listen up, because you really need to make a change, because money is not the root of all evil. Money is necessary for you to be able to live your life in a way that you want to, and there's nothing you can do about that. I was always good with money. Even when I was in early years of high school, I had term deposits. I was putting money in the bank and saving money. I would work my school holidays with my dad in his workshop. I saved enough money to be able to buy my first car and my first trip to the US when I was 19. I've traveled a huge amount, invested a lot. Most of what I earn, even, I bought my first house when I was 27. I started my PT business from scratch when I was 29, turned that into something great. I was really on track to buy my second property and set myself up, open a gym, all of these things, and health came and took that away from me. So I have spent uh, around $260,000 trying to buy my health back now, and I've probably lost between $1 and $3 million in lost income and investments and that sort of thing because of health taking that away from me. Now, that'll all be left in the past, and here's why. If you want to be confident with money, you've got to know where you're spending your money. One of the easiest way to do it is just print out your bank statements and just have a look at the last 3 months and just see where you're spending your money and what you're spending your money on. Uh, then you can ask yourself, is it worth me spending the money on this thing? Do I actually get enough value from what I'm spending my money on? Do I need to be subscribed to 17 different streaming services in order to fill my entertainment needs? Or is one or two going to be enough for me? Do I need to eat out 5 times a week when I could eat out once or twice a week and be cooking more at home? There's always ways to find out where you're spending your money and then reassess how you're going to spend your money. So next thing is spend less than you earn. You don't need a super expensive car or a super expensive house. If you're out to impress somebody, a lot of the time they don't care. We often spend money we don't have to impress people we don't like with things we don't need and money we don't have. So what's the point? Spend less than you earn, because then you're going to be able to figure out how you can have some left over, and instead of being in a deficit where you have debts building up, credit card debt or loans, whatever, you are now in a surplus. You have some money sitting there, savings for a rainy day just in case something happens. Now for me, I had my car break and I loved my car. To fix it was a $15,000 bill. Now that's not the sort of money that you just have lying around most of the time, but I made it work because I was able to save wisely and make some really good investments at the time. So spend less than you earn. Next thing, invest wisely without more risk than you can afford. If you are investing in things that are high risk, the likelihood of you losing all your money is very, very high. And a lot of the time we get into this desperate point where it's like, I desperately need this, so I'm going to take the risk. But generally, when you're in a bad mental health state or a sick state, something like that, where you're physically ill and you just feel like you are desperate for a solution, you will take on more risk, or you will put your money into a more risky situation. And that is a bad idea. So it's really important to find a trusted financial advisor who can help guide you, excuse me, in the way of what is a safe place to put your money and hold on to it at the very least. So think about investing like this. You've got X amount of money right here. You can invest it in high risk and you have the chance of losing everything, or you can invest it in something that has a small gain and at least you're going to be increasing where you're at. Now that is important. So invest wisely and don't go past that risky point unless you have a small percentage of your investment portfolio to make that work. Now that's up to each individual, but like I say, just remember that when you are at a point where you have poor mental health or you have poor physical health, it is very common to make poor financial decisions and poor investments in that state. I know this firsthand, and that's why I'm sharing it with you. Now, you've got to have a goal in mind with your finances. Do you want to earn more money? Do you want to buy a new car? Do you want to buy a new house? Do you want to go on a holiday? Do you want to do a year or two of study to increase your earning potential? Whatever it is, it's going to take money. So you've got to have some sort of a goal to be able to aim for, and then that goal will allow you to be able to go back to how you're spending your money and make it work somehow. You are probably going to have to make some sacrifices and cut some things out of some different places. And if that's what it takes, so be it. It allows you to get to where you want to get to. It's all about trying to get to that goal and keeping the goal in mind so you can focus on that and really work as hard as you can to go and get there. But like I said, you've got to know where you're spending your money, and then you've got to be really disciplined with how you do it on a regular basis. So the last thing, you've got to have a vehicle to get you to that goal. So if your goal is to go and do a couple of years of extra study because you know that'll increase your earning potential, but when you do that, that's going to take away, say, 2 to 5 hours per week. All right, I need to be able to pull that time away from my week somehow. You need to be able to continue to earn as much money as you can at the time, but you might have to cut your spending drastically in order to make that work. Another way to do it would be you might want to put a side hustle in there. Find some sort of extra business that you can do on the side outside of your regular job, or you might want to go and do overtime at your job. Whatever it is, you've got to find a vehicle that suits you. Not everyone is going to be able to work an extra 10 hours a week, because if you're already working 60 hours a week, you're probably at your maximum and there's not a lot of capacity left there. So maybe trying to find a better job that allows you to earn more money is a better way for you to go. And remember that even if you want to run a business, it might not be the right time to run a business right now, but you can start thinking about it and looking at these things. You might have to focus on another thing for your finances first in order to get to the next thing. Sometimes it's steps in order to be able to reach the goal that you have. So look, while I might not be where I want to be right now, I know I have what it takes within my business model, and I have a proven record. So that personal training business that I started in 2009 is still running today. And that is a very rare thing where a small business like that is running that many years later. It's been through multiple different owners and it's still going strong. I know that I can do this, so it gives me confidence. So figure out where you want to be and how you're going to get there. Then spend your time working out or working your ass off to actually get there no matter what obstacle comes up. And obstacles will arise. It's just the way it goes. So if you want help in not just confidence with money, but confidence in building a life and lifestyle that you really love, I've got a free 28-day program. The link is below. If you join that, I'll help guide you to putting your life together and design, build, and live a life that you're ready to jump out of bed for. We'll see you on the inside.